Welcome everyone to Building Community. Today I have the beautiful Enid with us today, and we're gonna speak about elemental forces and aligning with universal flow. And I feel like this is a beautiful um, topic because we are full of elemental forces all around us, and I, in a way, I feel like we were drawn to each other through elemental forces, through me connecting with the dragon circles that you help co-host, and this beautiful priestess energy and calling in the fire, the flames, and the earth, air, fire, water, spirit elements, as above, so below, and it's just been so transformative joining your sessions, Enid, and you were creating these beautiful new moon and full moon ceremonies, and I felt so drawn to that, and we were speaking a little bit before pressing record how we were doing those sessions that you were hosting the ceremonies and clearing a lot, and you will like guide me. You guided me into creating, I mean, pushing more of my YouTube videos, and with that little window that I took your advice because I felt how you came with the energy of really wanting to see somebody grow, you know. And I took it and I'm here. And we're here today, and even with my socials, you've given me so much advice, and you do provide that also to anyone that is willing to like do something for themselves and grow as a individual, right? And so let's talk about the elemental forces and universal flow. So, to you, what are the elemental forces and how do you utilize them? And give us a little bit of how important that is into creating our world and making life that much better for us.
I just want to say thank you, Maida, for inviting me to participate in your community videos. I see that you have grown so much and that you are taking action on your goals. So proud of you. Um, well, as you know, we connected monthly last year as I was doing the full moons and new moon circles, and those were based on the elemental forces because the new moons and the full moons coincided with the zodiac. So the new moon is when a sign is when the sun and the moon are in one sign. So it's like a PowerPoint. So those were is when I usually do my ceremonies, my circles, and all of that. And the elemental forces consist of, like you said, earth, air, fire, water, and of course, spirit that flows through all. So each month it goes into a new sign, a new element, and it goes, it goes earth. I think it's fire, water, air, and then earth
Mm.
as it goes around the circle of the zodiac. So it's a really like powerful energy when you tune into it because of course we have the elements within us. We have our physical bodies, which is earth, the air we breathe, our emotional body, our emotions is water, and our fire is the action. It's, our digestive system, our movements, our brain synapses, all of that is fire. So we have the elemental forces within us, but also they are outside of us. They are living forces of creation that we can tap into. And so it's amazing when you align yourself with these forces.
Mm. Yes, definitely. And like for example, how does let me see, let me gather my thoughts. Like, what does it mean to align with flow, first of all, if there's people that are like, oh, what is that? Like,
Okay, sure. Well, like I said, when you align yourself with the universal flow, I like to think of it as going with the zodiac signs. Like every month, the sun is in a certain sign,
mm-hmm,
right? So you already know that that's the month of the sign, right? Like right now, we're still, I believe, in Leo,
mm-hmm,
right? Are we still in Leo? And
yeah,
then we're gonna move into Virgo. So every month it goes into a different sign. So when you tap into that energy and you align your manifestations, you align your intentions, you kind of like start to go with universal life force, with organic timing.
mm,
And when you plan your manifestations around the new moon, which the moon is new, so it's growing, then it becomes full and then it starts to decrease. So when you plan your manifestations, plan your intentions, and plan your goals, just like the farmers do, it allows you to get into the universal flow and you'll see that your life, your creations, your manifestations, they kind of seem to flow easier when you tap into that because
mm,
that is organic timing. In the past, we didn't have calendars, they went by the timings of the planets. So that is the universal flow that I'm talking about. When you align yourself with that flow of the universal energy, the cosmic forces, the planets,
mm,
all of that influences us subtly. And a lot of people are not taught that. But when you start tapping into it, because they are frequencies that you can tap into, it boosts you. And one thing I want to just say is that if you do decide to do that, it's a communication. It's not like you're forcing it because these are universal life force energies. So they have to be acknowledged. They have to be um, you have to have gratitude. You have to acknowledge them. It's a frequency that you have to respect with reverence. It's not just like my way and that's it. Because these are living frequencies, these are living energies, like the water, the ocean. You want to respect the water because you'll drown if you don't, right?
mm,
So just like you could tell the water is a frequency, volcanoes, the sun, the air, all of these elemental forces are alive outside of us. So you want to develop a relationship with them. And once you start developing a relationship with these frequencies and tuning in, you'll see that they'll communicate with you subtly.
mm. That's beautiful. And I also see like an importance of kind of like introducing yourself to the element and starting that way. Like, some you could light a candle and connect like glare into it and start like, you know, feeling yourself as the fire and in the shower like connect with the water and just
Absolutely.
flow and just feel it,
Absolutely.
be in the mindful state of just being with these elements. Something
Yes, and
that
that's really important. I'm glad that you mentioned that because they're not only good for manifestation, but they're also good for cleansing.
mhm,
So you may need to do some cleansing around an element to manifest. Like let's say it's earth. So earth might be that you need to clean your space. You need to declutter. You may need to declutter your computer or something like that so you can make
mhm,
space for what you're trying to bring in. So it's not only about receiving, but it's also about cleansing. So it's both things. So since you
yeah.
said take a shower, that reminds me of cleansing. You cleanse
Mhm.
with water when you take a shower, you cleanse with it.
Mhm. And it just also becomes an organic feeling, like you start feeling like, oh, I gotta go into like the ocean, I feel like going for a swim for some reason, but that's because you're developing or the ocean's like this is what you need. Like this is that you're really connected and some people don't understand that they're already connected. I want to give an
Hmm.
example too for me. I've developed the connection, but also with my womb and my cycles to the
Hmm.
elements. So I know that as females, we're in sync with the elements through our menstrual cycle and like learning to have this journey with our wombs, with our essence. It's also
Yes.
so like beautiful and like you grow a lot, you become like these beautiful mystics and psychics, and that's what we came to remember, that we have
Hmm.
that power that you spoke of inside of us, you know
Yeah.
and we're humans, but we were created for a specific, like, our body parts are created for a specific purpose. Like even the water
Yes.
that we carry in our bodies, that consciousness. So yeah,
Yes.
I think
Water has memory. Hmm.
yeah. And I don't want to exclude the man, but the men also, they
Yeah, we
have
all
their own
do. We're
cycle.
organic. We're
Yeah,
organic. We are organic beings, just like
yeah,
the elements. We're made out of the elements.
yeah.
And, spirit flows through everything, just like a flower. And just like each leaf and each tree, every individual is unique
Yeah.
in itself, or every snowflake is unique in itself. But it's the same thing. It's just that each one of us is unique. And it's
Hmm.
interesting that you mentioned about the cycle, your moon cycle, because in the past, when women would gather together, like in the tribe, mostly the women would have their cycle at the same time. So it's
Hmm.
like even if when you live with some people, your cycle probably like
You
with your
sync
daughter,
up.
you might get your side. Yes, you get synced. Or if you work with certain people, you get synced up. So that is interesting. I always find that very interesting
Hmm.
that the body knows things that we are not aware of.
Hmm.
And it just kind of like, and so that's another way that you could sync up.
Yeah. And it's a
Hmm.
frequency. You guys start like building the same frequency, being around each other. Like if I'm always like
Yes.
connecting with you, then we're gonna be like feeling the same things, and even like the
Yes.
tele telepathically and things like that. It's
Yeah.
just
Like when
like
you texted me
yeah,
yesterday, I was like, I just think.
yeah. Exactly. So I was like, you felt me, but I was like, okay, let me text her, and it was just like that
Hmm.
sync of energy, which is
Yes,
powerful. And
it is.
I want everyone, I would like to people to start like seeing things like that, like how they're implement their own energy in like the world, in the earth. And
Yes,
um
absolutely. Everyone has capabilities of being intuitive and being psychic. We all have it. It's just that you need to practice.
mhm,
Not only do you need to practice, but you have to trust yourself. When you get that nudge, when you get that insight, you have to take action on it. You have to trust what you're getting because usually you're right. Like how many
yeah,
times like something happened and you're like, oh man, I knew it.
mhm,
That happens to everyone. Once you
exactly,
start trusting yourself and you don't do what you're supposed to do, when you get that guidance to not go and do that or to make a different move, then the intuition gets stronger
mhm,
because then it's like your body and your intuition says, okay, she's paying attention, she's listening. So you get
yeah,
more guidance, more intuition.
exactly.
Hmm.
It's like you walk with the universe always giving you what you need, like, it's guiding you to your path, but you do have
Absolutely.
to open yourself to receive. And I feel just learning how to let go of being too critical of everything, and that's the flow that you allow yourself to bring in. And it takes just breathing, just releasing your worries and just breathe, take a walk in nature, and like I said, glaze at a candle, and little by little you start opening those channels of listening to your own guidance. And
Yeah.
like you said, everyone's psychic.
It
Everyone
takes
has to,
practice. It takes
it's,
practice and you have to want to do it.
and
You have to
dedication
want to
too.
do it and you have to practice. Yes, because especially nowadays, everyone is so caught up in what's outside. We
Mm-hmm.
are our attention is being hijacked. So
Yeah.
you have to pay attention to what you're paying attention to, what you're giving your energy to. So you have to like honor your energy and not give it away
Mm-hmm.
to social media, let's say, or to the news, or to gossip,
Mm-hmm.
or any of those type of things. Like you have to. honor yourself, step away, and quiet the mind. And that is not easy. Like, I don't know, it's difficult. Like, I've been doing this for a long time, so I can do it, and I know when I need to do it because I start feeling weird. And then I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, that's it. Like, then I just turn everything off and go sit down and just close my eyes for a little while. Like, I had to do that last week.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we get those solar flares or it's astrological, we're in the age of Aquarius, so like literally going through this massive transformational period right now, all of humanity. So I feel that stuff. And I'm like, oh no, like I need to stop and just not do anything and just rest. Allow
Yeah.
my body to receive the energy, not intake anything from the outside, like devices and stuff. Just quiet the mind so that I can receive the frequency, so that I can receive the light, so I can receive the messages. And sometimes I just feel like a releasing out of my body of tension, of things that are no longer serving me. And once I feel that, I usually get inspiration.
Mhm.
I usually get inspiration.
Yeah. I can relate to
Mhm.
that too, because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I'm like doom scrolling because I get like sucked in, but I'm like, wait a minute, like wait, I don't feel that good no more. Like this is not helping me. But
I
there's
hear
days
you.
that I'm like, I'm not gonna like tune into that. And I tune into
Mhm.
myself and I find so much. Like there's so much things that my body tells me, some information that I'm like I reflect and I'm like, if I don't like put the phone down, you know, I'm missing out on all this information of all this important things that I could like speak of and I could receive, that I
Yes.
am collecting connecting with, this frequency, the grid, the quantum, the quantum's always speaking to us,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I'm always bringing the bugs out, but that's I feel like the bugs get brought to my frequency from the quantum because
Yes.
everything has a meaning, a spiritual meaning. And if I'm on my phone and I don't see this bug, let's keep that example, then I won't like be like, okay, what is this meaning? What why is it popping into my head? But it's like this and this and this and this is happening to you, and I'm like, that is like spot on what I was even feeling, thinking about, reflecting on. And I got this message from the quantum field, and if I'm on my
It's
phone
true.
looking at like funny stuff, but I mean, it's funny, but it's a distraction, you know?
It's true because sometimes I go on the phone to do something, like I go on the phone to, let's say, make a video or edit something or whatever. And then when I get on the app, I get distracted. I get distracted, and then like half hour passed by, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got on here to do something. So it's engineered to do that. It's
Mm-hmm.
engineered to take your attention because they want you on the app. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to be really mindful about that. Like you have to be really intentional when you're, let's say, working on your business or doing a video or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
to be mindful of the time that you spend on the app, especially social media and stuff like that. Like certain social media, I really don't participate anymore because I'm not liking how I feel after I get off of the app. So certain social media platforms, I do not engage in those anymore. Like I don't scroll on them anymore. I just go do what I have to do and I get off because I
Mm-hmm.
just don't like it's. And I'm sure you could probably change the algorithm of it. Like I know you probably could. Like if I start searching stuff like that, it'll probably change it. But I just feel like it's just hijacking my energy and I have other
Yeah.
stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I just don't do that. I'd rather do something else
Mm-hmm.
that's more productive, something
Yeah.
that, is for my business or something like that instead of wasting time. And not to say that I don't scroll because I do.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone scrolls.
It
And then the
happens.
phone reminds you too, like when I'm not on it, it dings. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting on the phone. Like, why are you dinging me? Like, it must know.
Yeah.
You're not on the phone now, so ding, you got a message.
Like,
Leave me
hello.
alone. Right?
Yeah, definitely. So things that I do also when I'm like, no, 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 like I get out for a walk, when I'm able to.
Yes.
I'm like, I gotta get out of here, get out of my house because even being in my house, it's too distracting in my house, I have too much going
Yeah.
on. So just that little walk and feeling the breeze in my body, the air element and the earth element, you know. And if I get an opportunity
Absolutely.
to meet a tree, I will hug it, you know. I'm like so those
It it all works, it all
yeah.
helps. I mean, the elements are communicating with us. And like I said, if you develop a relationship with the elements, they will respond to you.
Mhm.
And it's also based too, like you can have a certain connection to certain elements based on your birth chart. I know that we've done some work on your chart, but like for me, I have a lot of water in my chart, so I love the water. I love being by the ocean and all of that. So if you know your birth chart, you can see what your makeup is, and then you can see which elements you have a strong connection to. And then
Mhm.
the ones that you don't, those are the ones that you usually need to be intentional about working with,
Mhm.
because we have all of the elements within us. And for creation, you need all of the elements. You need everything. You can't just be, thinking like to manifest, just thinking like you're going to manifest something. No, you can't. You have to feel it like it's for real, because if you think it and your feelings are like, no, that's not true, you're not going to have, it's not
Yeah.
going to happen. So you have to think it, you could visualize it. Okay, you have those two components, but then you have to act on it. So
Mhm.
if you want, let's say if you want to start a business, you could think all you want about the business. You could think that you want clients all you want. If you don't take action on your business, it's not going to happen. And that's
Mhm.
where fire comes in. If you don't take action on it, it's not going to happen. And once you incorporate all those three, then it comes into the earth. Then you manifest it into the physical realm. But
Mhm.
you need all of the elements to manifest anything.
Definitely. I have
Mm-hmm.
like well I find like portals like on Earth like and they're trees,
Okay.
normally they're trees, and I do kind of like create an intention. I bring in like a water in my water bottle, and you know I give it something that represents each element, and sometimes
Okay.
I write it down, or you know if I don't want people to see it, I just like you know I just think about it, and I give the my stuff to the tree, my offering, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I bury it, and I've noticed
Yeah.
how it does like manifest, especially because you're using your own channel. And I don't like
Plus,
to like read like recipes or like you know this is how you do this is how you do that. No, it's like I follow my own intuition. I allow the elements to tell me where to go, where to place it, how to
mm-hmm,
place it,
mm-hmm.
you know, and even using my menstrual blood, you know, as a
Yes, absolutely. But
manifestation.
that's giving reverence to the land. And
Mhm.
when you do that, you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for others. It's like,
Mhm.
I forgot what it's called, but it's like you get accolades for doing stuff like that, because you're also having reference, you also have reverence for the land. So
Mhm.
when you do stuff like that, ceremonies like that, it's like acknowledging the land, acknowledging the ancestors and all of that. So I can see that.
Mhm.
And I totally get about that you don't follow other people's recipes and stuff. Like I do follow some recipes, but then I also make it my own.
Mhm.
Because when you add that element of your own creativity, your own inspiration, it makes it more powerful.
Yeah.
It'll work when you use somebody's recipe, yeah, because somebody has used it, because I've
Mhm.
given recipes out and that's something that I do. So, you know, but
Yeah.
I noticed that if I get something, an inspiration, I'll tweak it so that I make it my own, and that makes it more powerful.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, like you said, like the recipes we spoke about, you could also get books and you know, like connect with Enid, ask her, you know, hey, what can I do for this? But it's also important to utilize what your intuition tells you
Yes.
and to make it even more powerful. I noticed too, like I don't like to follow recipes because I overthink. did I do it right? Like, am I doing this right? Did I say the word
Everyone's
correctly?
different though.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I'm like I can't follow it. And I've learned that, like how you said, it becomes more powerful coming from my own like intuition, listening to what the wind tells me, the
So
elements
you should
tell
create
me.
your own book.
Right? I
I might
should.
inspire you now. Write it
Right?
down and create your own digital product. There you
Yep.
go. Wait for
You
Mida's
get 10,
product.
you get 10%.
I'm gonna give you another idea today.
Right? It's always you always tell me something and I'm like, oh I should, and I do it and but
Of
yeah,
course, because we each have, everyone has their own talents and gifts. And I
mhm,
always love to encourage people.
yeah,
I always love to,
do. I love
that's
love
just something
watching
about
you. Like
me.
even with when we're in the circles, you give advice. No, this, and like you say it in a way that it feels right. It just feels like yes, like it feels so good. And you are actually a coach. You
Yes.
guide women and maybe
Hmm.
men too. Like that's not,
Yeah,
but
spiritual coach.
mhm,
And but that's for my priestess training too. Learning
mhm,
how to hold space for people and,
yeah,
making them feel seen and heard and acknowledged,
mhm,
without judgment. So that's part of my priestess training. Hmm.
and it's amazing, and I recommend people to check it out.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so if you have like a website, and I'm also gonna put it on the description. So
Sure. Well, I started my circles again, and they're called the Healing Cauldron. So I'll give you my link tree because it changes every month. And that way they can get the latest link depending on when they see the video, whenever they see this video. So yeah, and all of my offerings are in the link tree. Yeah, so they can go and check out my work. And I'll be having my next circle is September 9th.
okay,
And since we're in Virgo, we're going to be working with Earth because I
perfect.
just have to go with the universal flow.
Yes, that's perfect.
Not
I love it.
necessarily the new moon like we did last year. That was very specific, dealing with the new moon and on the new moon.
Mhm.
Now I'm just expanding it a little bit more so that it can include healing and Reiki and whatever else is needed for whoever shows up. So it's open for different aspects.
I love that because your circle is really powerful. I remember I was like, I
Thank
need to
you.
rest. This was so intense, but it was so
We did
intense.
a lot of work
It was
last year.
amazing. Yeah,
We did a
I
lot of work
enjoyed
last
it
year.
so much.
And you were on it. You came every month. I was like, okay, my
Yeah,
number one student over
of
here.
course. Teacher's pet. Okay. Well, thank you, Enid. I love you and I appreciate you, and thank you for
Thank
coming.
you for inviting me and, blessings on this new journey. I look forward to seeing the other videos. Um, I'm really proud of you. So
Thank you.
blessings to you, my love.
Blessings. And have a beautiful day, everybody watching. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.